Hi guys, it's John from Reynolds. Had a little bit of feedback from some customers asking what's the best way to hide the cabling when you fit electric blinds inside a reveal or inside a blind box. So we thought the easiest thing to do is to pop into the showroom next door where we have our test windows set up, and we'll show you how we do it. One thing to remember, this is advice on how to hide the cable. The cabling requirements and whether this is acceptable or not may vary dependent on where you are, so make sure that you check with your electrician before you go ahead with this. Now, we're going to be honest here, this is probably best if you're at first fix, so before your plasterboard has gone on and when your electricians are putting in their feeds in the first place. In this particular example, what we've done is we've had a sunken box position just outside the reveal. You can see it there on the right hand side. However, it doesn't need to be that sunken box. You could take this same method and use it to go to, say, a speaker position or a downlighter position, or to behind a cabinet, or even into another room. But what we're looking to do is route a cable from inside the reveal to a location where a connection can be made. One thing that may dictate the position that you're going to make your joint is the length of the blind cable, and these do vary from product to product and from motor to motor, so give us a shout beforehand and we'll tell you how long the cable will be. We recommend that you use a flexible conduit. Position this flexible conduit behind the plasterboard and route it from the back of the reveal up nice and high where you're going to be fitting the blinds, and route it along to where you're going to make your connection. In our particular case, we're going to make the connection at the back of a sunken box, and that sunken box has a supply cable that comes in and is fed from a fuse spur. You can see this hole up in the top corner, that's where the conduit starts. You can see this draw cable, and you can see that the conduit then comes in to the sunken box, and that's my supply cables tucked up there. We're using one of our 25mm 230 volt motors, our 25TE. This is a cabled motor. It's got a 2-meter cable, but as you can see, the cable is hardwired to the motor. You can't remove it, and this is what causes a few problems, and this is why we were looking to be able to route this cable out of the way and making the connection to the mains neat and tidy at a remote location. So when it comes to fitting the blind, we're going to use one of our fascia systems, our cassette fascia. We think this is a really nice addition to roller blinds. That snaps up into place, and you can see the box is over on the right hand side there. Now it could be that you make the connection in that box, it could be that you put a fuse spur at that location. We tend to put the fuse spurs, or get the electricians to put the fuse spurs somewhere else, because it tends to be a little bit neater, but it depends on your decor. If you've got curtains there, for example, which would be hiding it. We then take the blind, which is now sitting nice and comfortably on the windowsill, and we attach the cable using some tape to the drawstring that we left in there when the place was constructed. Taping it nice and securely, we can then start to draw the cable through the hole, feeding it through and bringing it to this external location, which is where we're looking to make the connection. Now once it comes through, you can start to see there that that cable, we can leave it as long or pull it as tight as we want without damaging the cable from the blind. We can now fit the blind into place, making sure that we don't trap the cable. And as the cable starts to go up, we can draw in any of the slack that we don't want, making sure that it stays out of the way. We locate the blind in the bracket. We pull the excess cable through so that it goes neatly into that hole, and then we can cut this cable at whatever point that we want to make the connection. This is a very, very neat and tidy way of doing it. As you can see, we've got the cable and we've got plenty of slack on it in this particular section. We've got the power cable here. We can make the connection as nice and easily. You wouldn't be able to do this inside the reveal. Now we're using the Vargo connections, which we're quite big fans of, but again, whatever connection you need is going to be dictated by your electrician, not by us. This particular blind is double insulated, so it doesn't require an earth, and then we tuck the cabling, any of the excess, we tuck it back into the reveal or back into the conduit. If I'm honest, we've probably cut that a little bit longer than we needed, but then we tuck that out of the way, pop the case back on over the top, put the cover back on over the top, and there we go, very neat and tidy. And that's how we manage to make sure that we don't have any cabling showing or minimal cabling showing inside a reveal. Now, as said, we're running it to an external box. You could quite easily do the same method if you wanted to run it to a speaker in the ceiling, or if you wanted to run it to a spotlight in the ceiling, or even if you wanted to run it through the wall to a different room. But that there is a nice easy solution, and it makes sure that you're going to be able to wire it accurately and cleanly. Now, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to give us a shout. As said, you do have to respect your electrician's views on all of this, and if your electrician isn't happy doing it this way, then there are alternative ways to do it, but we do feel that this is probably the neatest and certainly has had the best results from the electricians that we've spoken with. Thanks for your time. Check out our YouTube channel for other instructional videos, and if we can be of any help, please don't hesitate to give us a call.